Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
It's Friday Night Lights here in South Huntington, and the defending champions are in the house. The Gales of Iona Prep off to a 4-0 start. Rarely can Xavier Bala and the Friars say they are underdogs, but they are here tonight. But crazier things have happened with a full moon. Tonight's CHSFL AAA championship game is sponsored by Catholic Health. Catholic Health, long live you, long live Long Island. Hello, pleasant good evening, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Brian Soper for this terrific Catholic AAA championship. It's a rematch of last year's championship game between Iona and St. Anthony's. A year ago was the Gales who came away with that victory after losing in the title game the 2 previous years. So this is a loaded Gales team this year. And St. Anthony's, again, as we said in the open, rare that they come into a game on their home turf as underdogs, but that is the case here tonight.
One of the toughest places to play. You got to go on the road, play at St. Anthony's. You know, all the storylines, Bala versus Davis, but this Iona team, 14 straight wins, one of the best teams in New York State, but don't sleep on the Friars, right? They got a lot of pride. They're going to look under these lights with this crowd to pull off an upset in many people's minds tonight.
And that was a little bit of the message too coming from Joe Spagnola, right? The Iona Prep coach said, listen, we're feeling ourselves a little bit. 4-0, we're averaging just under 43 points a game, but don't sleep on St. Anthony's, not in South Huntington, and he thinks his guys could be in for a rude awakening. But as we said, the start has been virtually perfect. It's something that they've not seen in a long time, right? I mean, they play a really tough non-conference schedule. They go to Jersey, and yet here they are, 4-0 on the season. A terrific start, one that Spags hasn't seen in a very long time.
Yeah, Coach Minucci said they're pretty darn good all over the place, and and Iona was like, yeah, we got dudes everywhere. It starts there with 15 slinging the ball, Davis in the backfield. St. Anthony's gonna have to try to control the ball today and keep the Iona offense off the field.
Yeah, if you want to see a team that passes the eye test in warm-ups, that's the Gales right there. A bunch of dudes, man. And that's the fun thing Spags said. It's fun coaching a bunch of dudes. It's just managing the expectations. He said we're always expecting to win. There's no doubt about it. A lot of noise outside as well as a team that everyone thinks is the prohibitive favorite to win another.
And I think you see
title.
And I think you see it, right? Last game against Farrell, you see Chaminade against St. Peter's, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good teams with a lot of talent, and you can't afford to take a second off.
So let's meet 2 of their dudes and 2 household names, not only in the Catholic League, but certainly around New York State. Crew Davis is that guy. 3-year starter, that Swiss Army knife. We'll see him in space. We'll see him use his athleticism. He is a North Carolina football and lax guy. So he'll head to Chapel Hill. We'll head there with the championship. And Brennan Presley, we'll see him on both sides of the field, but certainly a middle linebacker who could be one of the best players in the state. Doesn't have that offer yet, but expect that to happen soon.
Yeah, defensive MVP last year in the CHSFL final, also two TDs in that championship, and Davis, right, over 2,000 yards last year, 23 touchdowns. Grew up a Patriots fan, going to play for Coach Belichick. That's an amazing accomplishment by him.
So now the Friars, they come into this one 2-3 on the season, and coming off that Friday night loss to Monsignor Farrell. And it was a loss where Joe Minucci said, we just shot ourselves in the foot. Too many penalties, too many mistakes. Not that you have to play a perfect game against Iona Prep, but you absolutely have to clean up a lot of those mistakes that usually come with inexperience.
Yeah, almost 90 yards of penalties, but Coach Minucci said it. We still had a chance to win the game, right? They managed it towards the end. They drove the ball, just missed a field goal at the end. But he thinks if they clean things up, there's plenty of talent there for them to really make a push at the end of this year for St. Anthony's.
I got to imagine as well, at some point too, there was, maybe it was in his locker room before these guys hit the field, but the talk of pride about how good they are at home. And, you know, yes, they lost last week, but they don't often lose 2 times in a row at home, and have that pride playing here in one of the toughest venues in the Catholic League. We'll meet their impact players now as you see the boys getting set to come out. And listen, we usually highlight the skill guys, but you need Bryce Chanchuli to have himself a day, the leader of that offensive line. And John Drew on the other side, that prototypical middle linebacker for the Friars.
Yeah, Chanchuli, right? St. Anthony's going to look to chew up yards on the ground with Bala. Going to run behind Chanchuli. Brother Carson at Ithaca, so there's a long line of linemen in the Chanchuli family. And John Drew, returning starter, gives St. Anthony's that physical presence on the edge that they're going to need to stop this attack with Julian Guzman kind of, pitching the ball out quickly.
It is the Friars, and it is the Gales. It is a rematch of last year's Catholic AAA championship game. We'll have our keys to the game and more when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves. You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job in exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at St. Anthony's, and there you see the head football coach for Iona, Joe Spagnuolo, 1998 graduate of Iona, won a AA championship with the Gales back in the day. Could sling it pretty good, right? Went on and played at Siena. Bryant, previously the assistant head coach, OC, at rival Archbishop Stepanak, a guy who lost to Chaminade in the AAA quarters his senior year. Consider Spag's 10th year at the helm for Iona, and the head coach for St. Anthony's. He is in his 7th season. There he is, Joe Minucci, class of 1999. Played at Delaware. Had a cup of coffee a little bit with the Jets, Titans, Saints, Ravens. As a player for him, lost to Mount St. Michael in the championship game his senior year. So those are the head coaches. We talked with them. They identified their keys to this game. Let's take a look at them now.
Yeah, Iona Prep, right, get out of the gate clean. Typically, he feels like Spags some slow starts here on the island. Want to get out of the gates fast, win the battle at the line. Think they have an advantage in the trenches on both sides and win the turnover battle. St. Anthony's, limit our mistakes, less penalties, stop shooting ourselves in the foot, be more consistent, and limit their big plays, right? You have Davis, Guzman, Wolf, Lewis, just big playability all over the place for the Gales. St. Anthony's wants to stop that, according to Coach Minucci.
It'll be the Friars who will have the ball first, so they'll have that first opportunity. And you would think, too, so the best way to keep that vaunted offense off the field is by keeping the football, right? Having long drives and pushing yourself down the field. And that's where we highlighted Chan Shuley, certainly the leader of that offensive line, to try to help get that push against the vaunted D-line of Iona Prep.
Yeah, they have dynamic back in Bala, junior, 4-star ESPN recruit. But some of those penalties came on 4th down last game. You got to be able to stay ahead of the chains and keep this offense off the field.
How about this? 64 degrees, a beautiful early fall Friday night in South Huntington. Could not ask for better weather here tonight. Rob Esposito will kick off for Iona Prep.
For St. Anthony's.
Moore is deep for the Friars, along with Skandaris as well.
Yeah, Moore has big playability, heading to Delaware.
Esposito's like, yeah, I know that. That's why I'm going to kick it short. Fumble, though, at the 30, and it will be the Friars who come away. And leading them onto the field is their sophomore quarterback. I have to personally apologize to Anthony. Had a different last name. I thought it was D-I-L. It is D-I-I. It is D-S-O. The sophomore from Ridge. Good numbers as he's getting acclimated to varsity football.
Yeah, strong arm, makes good decisions. This offense of St. Anthony's puts a lot of the burden on the quarterback. When you talk about Gary Merrill not being here, you can't even compare them. and it's not fair to, but he's done a great job so far and is only going to grow as the season goes on.
So first play from scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. And Diesso's got time, and he's looking downfield. He's got a man, some contact, and now a flag flies out. We saw Russo up there with Materia. Let's see the call by Chris Atchison. It is a pass interference against the Gales.
Yeah, first possession. See Materia, right, jumps out, takes space away. That's Johnny Russo, one of the favorite targets of DSO early in the season.
Love the play call too. So let's go deep. That's one thing they didn't really do last week against Farrell. They didn't kind of spread the defense, or stretch the defense, I should say.
Got to keep him honest, right? You have Bala, 19 Division I offers. Got to soften up that defense a little bit.
And now the handoff does go to Bala. Tries to go up the middle and gets maybe a yard, if that. Let's meet the starters offensively for the Friars, joining DSO and Bala. We mentioned Russo, Caruso, Skidaris, and Big Jax Prokop. Up front, Chanchuli, Hoffman, Fernell, Scalise, and Justin Joseph. How about 6'5", 290 as a sophomore?
Yeah, young Hoffman as well, sophomore on the line, physical run blocker. You saw them as advertised. Presley stepping up and making that hit on Bala, last year's defensive MVP in the chip.
2nd and 10. And that one stretches across the field. That to Moore, and he will move the chains for the Friars. That's a great pass into a really small window.
Yeah, so far 2 balls, tight spirals by DSO. Nice route by Moore, dynamic play, just great hands. See him play both ways. Good start by St. Anthony's.
He will head to Joe Minucci's alma mater. Another run by Bala, this time a nice gain on 1st down. Let's meet the defense for Iona Prep. Up front, Austin Farrell, Deshaun Harley, Orion Trujillo. How about these group of linebackers, huh? Willie Reeves, Brendan Presley, Eric Camacho Jr., and Josh Simmons. Their corners are Lamar Lewis, Mason Materia, and your safeties are Xander Poole and Chase Reeves.
Ball on the carry.
Nice job, 2nd down carry. You'll take 5 yards every carry today for Bala. Nice job by Chanchuli, Hoffman, creating a hole for Bala.
He ended up gaining 100 yards against Monsignor Farrell, but really had to earn those yards. It was tough sledding for Bala in that one.
Yeah, Bala, not only a great football player, also a boxer. It's almost like you got to do it all day. Body blows, right, and then maybe take a big shot.
And this one, what a great block upfield, which leads for Caruso to get a 1st down. Give it up, though, to Johnny Russo. Gave up his body for that 1st down.
Yeah, Russo's a senior. He's a leader on the team. Good block here. Well-timed.
Right on the edge. Here it comes.
Watch full, right? Nice job. That's not an easy task, right, when you're blocking it out there on the outside against the size of this Iona defense. But Caruso, 7 catches last game against Farrell.
DSO over the middle, and that again was for Moore, and again in coverage. It was Materia. And it seems like they're targeting Materia here early on among the guys in the secondary.
Or targeting Moore, right? He's that senior. Minucci told us he wants the ball. Defensively, he's a ball hawk. Offensively, he wants the ball. So you see them deliberately targeting him early on this first drive.
Ball of the lone back. Pass goes out to that right side of the field. It goes to Caruso. Nice open field tackle.
Yeah, Xander Poole on the tackle. 13 tackles so far this year. Coach Spag says he's an FCS prospect, strong tackler. You saw it right there.
Yeah, a guy who got his opportunity last year, started the last 6 games of the year. He's a guy who looks the part, certainly at 6 foot 180. Here's DSO. Over the middle, he's got a man in and out of the hands of Johnny Russo.
How accurate has DeEsso been so far this game? On a rope. Good, clean pocket. Well thrown ball out in front. Russo's not going to drop many of those. Look for DeEsso to keep going back to him. Love this play call, these scripted plays by St. Anthony's to start this game.
4 down territory here for the Friars.
A lot of these passes have almost been like extended handoffs, right? Quick, get it out, get your players in space. Iona gives a little bit of a cushion out there in coverage.
7 on the play clock. Here's DeEsso. Over the middle, that is complete. He finds Russo again. And the Friars on 4th down will move the chains.
Go right back to the senior. Great route. Gets open, secures the catch. Just a great, so far, DeEsso's been nothing but clean. Farrell, Justin Joseph, you see that size. Nice job by DeEsso stepping up.
1st and goal from the 9. Here's Bala. His cuts are so incredible. I think it's one of the things that pops certainly on film.
Yeah, 6'1", 215, can really dance inside, puts his foot in the ground, makes decisions, and then it's hard to bring him down with just one guy.
With the stop.
The hope is that you spell him a little bit with Christian Bordeaux, who's also ironically from Baldwin. Different running backs. Bordeaux is hurt. Bala is not. Look at this push here by 14 in black inside the 5-yard line.
Again for the Gals.
Yeah, Willie Reeves in on the tackle machine. Best player on the JV last year for Iona. Good stop there, but St. Anthony's had a lot of success running behind the right side of this offensive line with Scalise, Joseph.
3rd and goal. For about the 3. High snap. Here's Bala. Lowers his shoulders, goes towards the end zone, and he is stopped just shy.
Yeah, you see that decision, right? DeEsso puts it in Bala's belly, gives it to him.
And now do you go, it looks like you're going to go Bala, Wildcat, and a little tush push for the Friars. And Bala is in. What a start for St. Anthony's.
Yeah, Coach Minucci's fired up. Look at Kevin Moore running off the field, fired up. That was about as good of a drive as you could put together. Run, pass, mixing it up, keeping Iona on its heels, and to cap it off on a 4th down push into the end zone. Unbelievable job. Cherry on top of a great drive.
Dean Novolino on to kick. Nick Zenk is your long snapper. Mason Carreras to hold. PAT is up. There is a flag, though. It is no good. Now, where is that flag against? Because if you push up the Friars here, an opportunity maybe to go for 2.
Calling for the offense.
Yeah, so this one is against the Gales.
Penalty is against Iona.
And now you see the 2 fingers put up, and it looked at least, yeah, they are going to go for 2, so they might have to burn a timeout here. Well, there's plenty on the play clock.
Both teams are subbing, little fire drill action, both sides. Going to take that half the distance to the goal and try to get an extra point out of it.
Do you go the same route here? Though this time it's DeEsso in, Bala behind him. It is Bala. Cuts it to his left. Dives in the end zone for the 2-point conversion as the Friars have raced out to an 8-0 lead.
Yeah, X going to give it to you here. Watch this vision. right? Takes it off, little bounce cut, gets to the outside. Look at him get skinny there, find the end zone. He's got offers from Penn State, Ohio State, Alabama, just to name a few. Only a 2-point conversion, but we saw last week it can come down to 1 point on any game.
We said this is a rematch of last year's Catholic Championship game. Let's show you some of those moving images from Mitchell Athletic Complex. There's Brennan Presley in that short down situation. Oh no, Gary Merrill, he's in trouble, so.
Impossible.
Yeah, right. We've seen that before. Finds Jax Prokop into the end zone for the touchdown. But then the Gales do Gale things, and Crew Davis does Crew Davis things. Look at that push into the end zone. Ran for 200-plus yards in this one, and this one was the play of the game. Fake handoff. Davis gets blown up, but then Guzman, 53 yards to the house.
He wears 15 for a reason, doing his best Patty Mahomes.
Dives into the end zone, and the Gales, they are celebrating another Catholic championship. That came after back-to-back defeats in the Catholic finals. 2 years ago, it was the Dante Torres and KJ Duff and Ian Strong and the boys at St. Anthony's. The year prior, or I should say in 2023, they lost to Richie Beeline and the guys at Cardinal Hayes up at Fordham University. You mentioned 15. We'll see him for our first time as a senior. And Spag said it's nice to have the senior QB, a guy who learned under a Johnny Shepard before him, and now he's got the opportunity to shine. Maryland baseball, but I don't know. Could be looking at some football options.
For sure. What an efficient game last week. 12 for 16, 104 yards, 4 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground, 5 total touchdowns. Throws an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, right? Can sling the football as well. Dual threat quarterback for the Gales.
He was one of those in the Pretty Darn Goods.
Yes.
That Minucci put out. One was to 15 in white. In motion, Eric Perillo. Fake handoff. Guzman slings it sidearm. And again, into a small window. Finds his favorite receiver, Joe Wolf. And right away, Iona, they get a first down.
Yeah, Joe Wolf, 6'3", 185, 5 touchdowns early on the season. But you see the ability for Guzman to get on the edge and throw the ball on the move.
Trips right for the Gales. This time, it is the handoff. Crew Davis pushes forward to get a couple on first down. Let's meet the starters offensively for Iona. Joining Guzman, Davis, and Wolf. Perello, Lewis, and Cassidy are your receivers. Up front, some big dudes. Joe Galino, Caden Cade Lewis, CJ Mailsman, second straight year as a starting center. Abe Guerrero, new to the line, but how about Anthony DiNapoli? He's that guy right now at 6'4", 275, a 3-year starter at right tackle.
And then they'll mix in Dylan Moulage, right, 6'8", 340 on the line, a sophomore. Just a lot of offensive line talent for Iona.
A gain of about 4 on first down. Another handoff. And I'll tell you, Davis is shifty as well. And now you get that beef up front to push you a couple more yards.
Yeah, Coach Spagnola said Davis is just a little bit different this year, a little quicker, a little more explosive. Spend time in the weight room. You see it there, carrying some defenders for St. Anthony's.
A little more twitch to his game as well, a little thicker, more definition to his body.
Yeah, he's a threat, both running the ball and catching it. Caught 5 for 34 last week in 1 touchdown. So look for him to be involved in the passing game as well.
3rd and 1 for Iona.
Look at 71. He's in there. Look at 6'8", 350.
I think we're going to go his way. Fake handoff. Davis follows the big fella. That's a nice open field tackle, but it will be good enough to move the chains for Iona.
Good for an Iona first down.
Yeah, Moulage, only a sophomore. Uncle played at Georgia Tech. Has a Cuse offer already as just a sophomore. You see Guerrero out there as well, 6 foot 290. Really smart kid as well, 96 GPA in the classroom.
And one thing that Spags loves about Moulage is a lot of times when you get guys that size, they're a little bit timid. No, not him.
The size, oh my gosh.
Look at the time for Guzman. Looks for options. Goes end zone. Touchdown. Iona Prep. Joe Wolf.
Right, we showed that full moon in the beginning. Right, Wolves come out at night. Unbelievable throw by Guzman on the money. If it's a 50-50 ball, he's hungry like the wolf. Jumps up, makes a great catch in the one-on-one contested touchdown. Unbelievable job. Guzman stays red hot. 4 touchdowns last week. Fire one up right away for the Gales.
Now, if they go, they're going to go for 2 right now to even the score. Looks like it.
Yeah, it's 6 touchdowns already for Wolf on the season.
Handoff, Davis. Yeah, he's hit the weight room, so
Yeah.
bounces off a defender into the end zone. And the 2 running backs, we said, this is the story within the story, right? Like the individual matchup you want to see. Bala on one side and Crew Davis on the other.
Yeah, he meets Filiberti in the hole. Round 1 goes to Davis. Again, only 2-point conversions, but we saw the dancing, the cutting, and the finishing of runs by both Bala and Davis. Get your popcorn ready because this is going to be a good one between those 2.
Yeah, Crew Davis, what a year he had last year. And when he played in that championship game, was not committed yet, right? And then he blew up during the lacrosse season, and then he became that rare dual sport scholarship guy.
Yeah, you see them in the tent watching film.
Is that Varsity Media they have on over there?
He's dual sport, but also dual talented, right?
Yeah.
In midfield, in lacrosse, he plays offense and defense. On the football field, he both can run and catch it. Just a special athlete.
So Spags said one of his keys was what, right? Let's not get into a hole here. And right away goes for 2 to tie it at 8.
And Coach Minucci, one thing he was worried about is the big plays, and we saw Guzman and his ability to throw it up there to Wolf.
And a ton of time, too, that Guzman had. Here is Esposito. Returned from the 20.
On a return.
We talked about what St. Anthony's needed, and they needed a long drive. They got one on that first possession that ultimately went to a Bala goal line push from a yard out, and then the Bala 2-point conversion on their first drive.
I think this drive is key, right? St. Anthony's needs to do it again. They need to prove to themselves that they can sustain a drive again. Clean drive, no penalties. Iona took a punch, and then they returned one. Let's see how St. Anthony's does here countering.
So 1st and 10 from literally the same spot they started their previous drive, from the 31-yard line. Here's Diesso. He's got time, comes this way, and how about that? Great defense by Xander Poole.
Yes, Spags was talking about how good of a cover guy he is. You have kind of like a mesh route here, a little crosser with a deep route sniffed out by Poole. That's his 2nd knockdown of the night. You see those cover skills.
Yeah, bright future certainly for Poole. Here's the handoff, Bala. The explosion every time he touches the ball, and he's one of those running backs. Minucci said it's a little bit rare in today's game, but he is always north-south.
With the stop.
Grew up a huge fan of Saquon Barkley. You see a little bit of that patience and then finishing of runs by him. If most of Long Island knows about him already, but if you don't, you're gonna see what he's all about the next year and a half. Ton of offers already.
And durable as well. Look out, Diesso under pressure. Scampers out to the right side. Fumbles the football. And Iona comes away. Falling on the ball, Eric Camacho Jr.
Yeah, it starts again with Presley, right? Presley brings the heat up the middle, forces Diesso to scramble, and now there's 4 or 5 hats to the ball. Nice job by Eric Camacho Jr. on the spot. 18 tackles, add a fumble recovery for that guy. His first year on defense, was a tight end. Now he's picking up fumbles on defense.
So here we go. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Trips right for Iona. Guzman rolls that way. Fires a strike. Spinning there, Eric Perillo trying to get more. And he's finally forced out of bounds. A quality play there on 1st down.
You see the dynamic route running by Perillo, getting some Patriot and NESCAC love. You see why. Watch the yak run after the catch. Here comes a whoop, little spin move, gets extra 10.
What is that? Is that XY on the
It used to be the B button back in the day, but unbelievable. Just, I think that's, you'd hear about Guzman, you hear about Davis. These 4 or 5 receivers are also very dangerous for Iona.
That's Aiden Cassidy in motion. Here is Crew Davis, stuffed by the St. Anthony's defense. Let's meet those guys. So we haven't talked about them yet. Up front, Shaughnessy, Jampali, and Garcia. Your linebackers, Bramoff, Filiberto, McHugh, and Drew. Your corners, Allen and Sanchez, and as good as you get at the safety positions, Kevin Moore at strong safety, Danny Rooney at free.
Yeah, that was a great stick by Sanchez, the junior, 5'11", hard nose. Kevin Moore gets all the love, but Sanchez is a hard-nosed player with a great tackle on Davis there.
Cassidy was again in motion. Guzman tucks it under, a little hesitation. He is learning from Mahomes, right? That's a Mahomes move if you've ever seen one.
The last thing you want to do is run out of bounds, but nice patience. Again, that was Sanchez again. Some nice discipline here.
And how often does Mahomes get criticized for this, right? Watch this. He'll slow it down a little bit. And now you're like, wait, is he going to go out of bounds? I can't really tackle him out of bounds.
Great discipline, not going. Usually you throw that fake, the guy jumps in the air, and then you go for a touchdown. Nice job by Sanchez. Back-to-back plays for the defense.
Ends up being a loss of 1, so a 3rd and 11. Cassidy again sprints out to the left. Guzman, sidearm, fires it. Interception! Right at the goal line.
Go.
So from one turnover to the next, Kevin Moore comes up with the pick.
Ball hawk, right? He had an INT in last year's championship play. Oh, touchdown? Nope. Moore in the right spot. He's thinking 6 points after that. Unbelievable job. Good hustle by Crew Davis to stop that. But the senior's fired up. He wants the ball on offense, and he wants to take the ball on defense.
INT number 3 on this young season for Kevin Moore.
Yes.
Read that perfectly. If there was a criticism there, it's because he went sidearm looking long, that ball hung up there, and Moore had a great read on it.
Great read.
So no harm, no foul on that DSO fumble as the Friars take over from their own 35-yard line. Handoff to Bala.
Bala on the carry.
And that's the other thing about Bala, too, as a running back, Soap, right? Like, he sometimes, we talk about his explosion, but sometimes he also surveys the situation. Where's the hole going to emerge? And then he hits it.
Big playability on every play. Good job so far limiting his big plays. That was Orion Trujillo, right, 5'11", 230, 2-year starter for Iona. Twitchy, high motor, good tackle on Bala.
2nd and 8. And again, Bala pushes himself forward for a short gain.
Yeah, Mike Drumney, senior, 6'1". See him come off the edge. Coach Spagnola likes him in the kind of the speed, quick packages. Nice job scraping down to make a tackle. 3rd and long.
Yeah, they don't only have size. They not only have dudes, they have depth as well, this Iona Prep team. So you have some guys who go both ways, but they don't get too tired on either side of the ball because there's a rotation at their spot.
Yeah, you see Deshaun Harley, 54 on the inside, junior, really breaking out this year.
DSO tucks under, look out, breaks a tackle. Look at the sophomore go. DSO, 1st down for the Friars.
DSO on the carry.
Yeah, unbelievable decision by him. Coach Minucci applauds his decision making. Things break down a bit, get out of dodge, right? Use your ability, climb the pocket.
Right there, you thought he was in trouble, but
tackles.
Yeah, but the fact that two guys from Iona go and collide helps them out, and DSO does the rest.
Yeah, 97 yards rushing coming into the season with the 700 plus in the air. So you have a dual quarterback with Guzman and just a sophomore showing some really good legs there.
And there is the shifty Bala. Gets near that first down marker, and actually he will get it. First down for the Friars.
Just tremendous size. You see the 6'1", the ability to cut.
1st and 10, Friars from the 34.
It's pretty cool when you go on the Instagram and you see like all the college programs wishing him luck in his upcoming games. It's pretty wild. The kid's special.
Here he is again. Look at the explosion for Bala. Turns into the secondary. Gets taken down at about the 26-yard line.
St. Gary with the stop.
So the final few seconds. And the Friars won't even have to run a play here.
Yeah, the tackle by Mamadi Sangare, really good junior. Coach Spag says he might be the best all-around player in the league. Cuse BC, some offers by him. So you got some big-time talent going up against each other here tonight.
Really good first quarter of action in this rematch of the Catholic AAA championship game. The Ballers have shown up.
You never want the 8-8 in the Super Bowl box, but that's what we got tonight.
You also got hungry like the Wolf. Joe Wolf, touchdown for Iona Prep. We are tied at 8 after 1. You're watching it here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
What's up? It's Sean Lights Out Merriman, former Charger and Bill, and you're watching Varsity Media.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Back in South Huntington, Dylan Butler, Brian Soper, our entire Varsity Media crew. Time to start quarter number 2, and we are tied at 8. Faked handoff to Bala. That one's knocked down. I think it might have been Michael Drummy. You shouted him out before.
Yeah, nice job. Russo was wide open. We've seen the St. Anthony's receivers able to get off the ball, especially Russo, and get open. I also like some of the combo routes on the outside. Look for them to take a shot here.
3rd and 4 from the 28-yard line. And there goes Bala again.
Hey, Bala, meet Mr. Sangare. That's two top-notch players meeting on the sideline. But, man, what a block on the outside. That was Chanchuli laying the wood on the outside, 6'3", 260. Unbelievable job springing Bala on the outside.
Yeah, between his brother Carson and then Bryce, you've essentially can pencil in a Chanchuli the last 8 years for the Friars. Another run that way. Bala forced out.
Yeah, good job on the outside. You had Furnell. Double team block on the outside. Good job stretching it out by the Iona defense.
This O-line, definitely a strength of the St. Anthony's team. Of course, you've got a special player in Bala and some really good receivers as well with Moore, Russo, and Mancaruso, but you need those guys up front to execute. And early on in this one, they certainly have done that. 2nd and 9, 7 on the play clock.
2nd and 9.
Quick out to Bala.
DSO's pass complete to Bala.
And there is that matchup you mentioned before again. It's
Sangare
Sangare forcing him out.
Yeah, again, just like an extended handoff, a nice safe pass for DSO. You never know. You get the ball into the hands of Bala, right? He can do special things. But we've seen Sangare really show up on this drive, both in coverage and his tackling prowess.
3rd and 8.
A junior offers from Buffalo, Bowling Green, UConn, Temple, BC, Syracuse, and Minnesota. There's a handoff. And the push going forward.
Weichert on the carry.
It was Brody Rickards with...
Rickard on the carry.
Yeah, Townsend lacks commit. We'll see him play some cornerback as well. You know, he's just an athlete.
Another 4th down here for the Friars. And there's a flag.
Flag on a play.
And that's exactly what the Friars didn't want. That was the tail of their loss last week against Monsignor Farrell. Penalties, and even Minucci said, right? So penalties on 4th down as well.
It changes the play call. You go from a 4th and 3, 4th and 4. Now it's 4th and 9. You know, now you're almost making yourself one-dimensional. Look for the crosses on the outside. So far we've seen Moore and Russo, their ability to get some separation. Look for them to get to the sticks.
4th down and 8 from the 14.
Here comes Bala trying to kick it around the outside. Turns the corner. He'll get the 1st down.
Touchdown.
He'll get the touchdown as well. Didn't see the signal, but wow, what a run by Xavier Bala. He's like, you're in my house.
That's just different, right? The amount of speed to get to the end. Watch, he's getting chased down here by Josh Simmons, one of the best defensive players for Iona. Definitely not thinking about going out of bounds. Low as the boom. Bala crosses the end zone. You see what it's about. You see what it's about, right? You don't get offers from top schools like that without your ability to finish the run.
And did you see who that was, right? If we show that replay after this PAT again, I believe that was Crew Davis that he just laid out.
Yeah, it was Davis or Poole on the outside, 2 really good players, and you just saw the helmet kind of snap back, finishing that run for Bala.
So Novellino on for the PAT. The kick is up and good, and that's important for Dean Novellino. Missed the PAT or had one blocked against Farrell, and then missed the winning or a potential winning field goal late as well. Let's take a look again. So let's see, was it 5 that he ran over?
It's like, look, you know, sniffing it out, get to the outside. Now he knows he's got the corner. Now it's end zone sniffer. X gonna give it to ya. 6, that was Xander Poole Jr.
Yeah, it would have been weird to see 5 in there, but yeah, what a run by Xavier Bala. We saw a little bit of everything there, right? We saw the explosion, the speed, and then at the end, the physicality and the power to get in the end zone.
Yeah, 8 touchdowns on the year. Like you said, in that AAA final last year at 21 for 143, but no touchdowns. Well, he's got a touchdown with an exclamation point finishing that run.
And he's got 2 that happened on 4th downs here tonight.
When in doubt, give it to your best player. Well blocked by the left side of that line. Hoffman, Furnell, Chanchuli, and then 14 just those special things.
So Novellino back to kick. Deep for Iona Prep. You got Sangare and Materia.
You know, how big was that interception by Moore, right, to get them that ball back?
And that's fumbled.
We saw St. Anthony's, they recovered that onside kick to give them a chance last game against Farrell. Special teams might play a role in the winner tonight.
So Poole bobbled it, recovered his own fumble there, and Iona will look for the response here. First and 10 from their own 34-yard line. It's Cassidy at the bottom of your screen. Davis, that lone back behind Guzman. He'll get the ball on first down. And he is also so shifty. Pulled down at about the 42-yard line.
Rooney with the stop.
Danny Rooney makes the tackle.
Yeah, nice job. You saw the guard, Cade Lewis, future captain for Iona, according to Coach Spags. He pulled on that play, had a great point of attack block. Nice first down gain for Iona.
Yeah, Cade Lewis was the captain on the JV a year ago as well. Another handoff on first down, and you get the push as Davis. It looked like he would be stopped short, but then you see the big guys up front. You saw 65, Joe Galino, first-year starter out of Katona. Probably the most improved player on this Iona Prep team.
Yeah, nice job behind Ethan Bramoff at linebacker, senior, 6 foot, UVA Lax commit, second year playing football. Really more physical this year, and you saw him coming down the line there on the tackle.
Toss to Davis. Breaks the first tackle and the second, and he'll get out toward midfield for the first down.
And Garcia in for
Filiberto in on the tackle. Nice job by the offensive line.
First and 10 Gil.
Just watch that cut. Unbelievable. Like a bowling ball. Crew Davis. DJ Garcia. 3 tackles for loss. 21 tackles on the year.
Yeah, a guy who Davis invites that contact, initiates it even, like we saw Gary Merrill doing a year ago for the Friars.
When Davis gets up to full speed, he's a tough tackle.
Guzman slings it this side, diving but not in bounds. Good effort by Mason Materia.
Intended for Materia.
But it is incomplete.
Yeah, Materia was injured last year. You see the speed, ability to get open.
From the 49.
Noah Allen, senior track runner in coverage for St. Anthony's.
Materia, a guy who could take the top off of defense, elite level speed. But of course, coming off that ACL soap, he's a guy who's playing catch up, right? And he's behind some of the other skill guys.
Yeah, you saw the respect, to his deep prowess. Nice out route.
Second and 10. Guzman, tons of time and a lot of receivers he could find, right? Goes to the outside for Eric Perillo.
Yeah, Perillo, just an excellent route runner. A lot of the routes he runs out of the slot, but he stopped on a dime there.
Perillo, a guy, has Patriot and NESCAC interest.
Just super impressed with Guzman's accuracy. You see that fastball. Maryland baseball commit. Started halfway through his freshman year. Does a lot pre-snap for Iona, getting them in the right plays. Super impressive arm talent and decision making.
Yeah, Soap came into this game with a 72.5 completion rate. There is Davis
on the carry.
Getting the first down for Iona.
Down.
Yeah, you see on the offensive side, you see Josh Simmons is playing there. You see the size of him, number 8. Watch on the outside. Kind of keeps that block on the outside. Unbelievable job. 6'5", 240, and still growing. A lot of looks for him.
First and 10, Iona.
2.5 sacks on defense, but you see him in the running game helping offensively as well. You put Simmons next to Moulage on the outside. That's some beef.
Guzman.
Double move.
Cuts it this way. Finds Wolf. Cuts inside of a defender. Wolf still on his feet. Joe Wolf. Touchdown, Iona Prep.
More like a werewolf out here tonight. Just the yak, the yards after the catch. Those routes took some time to develop. Look, I mean, wide open, kept clean by the defense. Again, unbelievable job, not going out of bounds, finishing the run. Little 25-yard yak for a touchdown. Second touchdown of the game, 7th on the season for Guzman's favorite target, Joe Wolf.
Rob Esposito to kick. Aiden Cassidy is your holder. And Tyler Wells is your long snapper. And that one was blocked.
It is blocked, and it's no good.
Kevin Moore on the outside does it all. Offense, defense, special teams. We saw the importance of 1 point last game versus Farrell. That could be a key special teams play by Kevin Moore.
So 7:04 left in the first half, and Soap, the Friars, are certainly keeping themselves, not only keeping themselves in the game, but obviously they've got the 1 point lead.
Just both teams, the ability to respond. You know, you think momentum might be going one way. Next thing you know, they respond with a touchdown.
See, the last 3 years for the Friars, that terrific state championship title winning team that beat Iona in the Catholic final. They lose in the quarters the next year, which is a rarity for the St. Anthony's, losing to Cardinal Hayes. They avenged that one last year before that loss to Iona in the title game.
You know, St. Anthony's is one of those programs, like, they just have the perennial X on their back, right? Everyone knows what they've done, the history of St. Anthony's football, a well-coached team, not an easy place to play, and they get everyone's best shot.
Well, that history is 15 AAA championships. Of course, it started with the legendary Rich Reichert and has continued with his disciple, Joe Minucci. So Esposito to kick off. We've got Moore and I believe Scandaris deep for the Friars. And it is Moore from the 21-yard line. And a short return for Kevin Moore.
Chase Reeves in on the tackle, sophomore. Perhaps the next starting running back for Iona after the graduation of Davis. You see him making a contribution there on specials.
So the Friars take over, and it's actually their best field position of this game by a couple of yards. 1st and 10 from the 33. The previous 2 drives started at the 31.
Been impressed so far with the center, Nathan Furnell Jr. Big, athletic, especially for a center. His ability to move.
Quick out to Russo up this near sideline. He'll get forced out of bounds just about the 40-yard line, a little shy.
Sangare with the stop.
Nice quick look. DSO's been really accurate on those swing looks. Russo's been, like, you know, open on most of his routes so far. Look for him to keep feeding him.
Go the other way, and that is incomplete. Our first target
incomplete, intended for McDermott.
For Rory McDermott.
Yeah,
size sophomore.
3rd and 5 from the 39.
Yeah, the first ball we've seen a little bit out in front. Big 3rd down.
You mentioned it before. How big is Josh Simmons, man?
Yeah, different.
Holy smoke.
Hey, he's in coverage right now.
Fake handoff over the middle. That is incomplete. It was McDermott again, the target, and Xander Poole, another pass breakup.
Yeah, great cover guy. You know, he's like a lifeguard, right, in the pool, right? No swimming today. Unbelievable job for him in that man coverage.
Eric Perillo deep for Iona Prep. As it'll be Kevin Moore to punt. He said, does it all, right? Punts the football as well.
Big stop for the Iona defense.
The first one for either defense to this point, well, other than the turnovers, I should say. Good hang time. Perillo attacks it at the 25, which is where he is stopped.
Great hands, not an easy catch. That ball was wobbling in the air. You see the hands of Perillo, and a lot of these receivers for Iona seem to catch everything.
We told you about the last 3 years for St. Anthony's and for Iona Prep. It has been 3 consecutive trips to the title game in 2022, losing to St. Anthony's 50-18, 23, that heartbreaking defeat up at Fordham against Hayes, and what a year last year, 11-2. You beat St. Anthony's, you beat Canisius, you win the state championship to boot.
I think a lot of what Spag said is true. Like, it was a close game, right? It's kind of what he thought, maybe a bit of a wake-up call in the first half for Iona.
There's Perillo breaking a tackle into space and gets the first down. And that's got to be a conversation you would imagine with St. Anthony's, whether it's on the sideline or in halftime. You got to make that first tackle.
You're starting to feel the Iona offense gaining a lot of confidence. They're a little bit quicker to their spots. St. Anthony's really got to dig deep, try to get a turnover or stop.
Guzman slings it sidearm, nearly picked off.
Pass is incomplete.
Yeah, nice
pressure on him as well.
You know, some of that pressure right up the middle is the toughest for guys like Guzman. Nice job, 55. Garcia was in the backfield. He's been living there so far. 21 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Kind of commands that defense for Coach Minucci.
2nd and 10 from the 40.
2nd and 10 for the Gales. Back to Crew. Davis. And that's that extra thing, too, that Davis brings, right? Where right as the point of contact comes, what does he do, right? Turns around and gets those extra yards he needs to move the chains.
I mean, for 8 yards, he's untouched, right? You allow him to get up to full speed with his ability to finish runs. That's a bad recipe for any defense.
We were blessed, man, in that title game last year. You had Merrill on one side with Bala. Then you had Davis and Guzman on the other. And here is Guzman. 80 miles an hour there, looking for Wolf. And that one was broken up well.
Pass is incomplete, intended for
Greg
Wolf.
Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez has been good. You know, Moore's a special athlete, you know, out there in coverage, but Sanchez, I mean, he's covered, but you see that was a perfectly thrown ball, only where Wolf could catch it. It comes out so fast, right? It's the quick release and the ability to easily throw it 40, 50 yards.
And Wolf at 6'3", great wingspan, usually knows how to position himself to win those one-on-one battles. Quick out into space.
Guzman pass complete to
And that was Sangare.
Sangare.
Taken down at about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Sangare's explosive, captain of this team.
Filiberto and Garcia in on the
When you talk all-around football player, Spag says, I think at least, he said, I think he's maybe the best all-around football player in this league. Hard to argue with.
Yeah, he can play offense, explosive, he can tackle, he can cover.
He's on specials. It's a big third down here. 3rd and 6. You bring in the big boy, Moulage, at right tackle. But the Gales will talk it over. We'll take the timeout with them as well. 4:57 left in this first half. You're watching this Catholic AAA Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Back at Cy Donnelly Field, a beautiful evening, a big crowd as always here at St. Anthony's. The Gales, they have traveled well from New Rochelle. 3rd and 6 for the defending champions.
Yeah, you got the Napoli and Lodge on the outside, that right side of the line.
Now Cassidy going that way. He'll get the pass. Avoids the first tackle, cuts it inside. He was right at that line of scrimmage. He did evade the first tackle. Good job there by getting hats to the football, though, by the Friars.
Yeah, Reichert was there, or at least made him, not be able to, just catch the ball and go. Allowed for the St. Anthony's to pursue.
All right, Friar fans, let's make some noise. It is 4th down. And 6.
So 4th and 6 now for Iona Prep. We've got trips left.
Yeah, look for Wolf.
And Guzman trying to draw Friars offside with some cadence.
Yep, Perillos as well.
Sidearm look. Wow, Wolf.
Guzman's pass is complete to Wolf.
First down.
Such a high-level play, for high school to roll out and to put it in this spot where only Wolf can go get it. Wolf has had a tremendous first half for the Gales, but that is, it's pitch and catch, but not easy. That's a lot of time on in the practice field working on routes.
He's that rare 3-year starter as we go along. Ooh, that's a rare miss for Wolf, in and out of his hands, but he's that rare 3-year starter in basketball and in football.
Intended for Wolf.
Yeah, Guzman put that one on the money. Coach Minucci, that's one thing at halftime he's going to say is that we got to do a little better on the coverage. A lot of big plays they've made, but also they've dropped a few. So you got to definitely clean that up if you're the Friar defense. Because Wolf ain't going to miss many of those.
Cassidy in motion.
Got to get some pressure on the quarterback.
Davis explodes up the middle.
Davis on the carry.
Yeah, tackled by Brendan Shaughnessy, senior, tough physical player, real good high school football player, but again, nice job following his line. That's Joe Galino, 6'3", 255. Coach Spags calls him the most improved player on this Gale team.
And you root for those kind of program kids, right? Like that.
All right, Friar fans, let's make some noise. It's 3rd down and 2.
3rd and 2.
From the 23.
Perillo to the right. Guzman comes his way. Tucks it under, cuts inside. There is a flag. That was thrown, though, and this looks to be most likely an offensive holding penalty. Chris Atchison, our white hat here. He'll make the call. It came from behind, which 9 times out of 10 is a penalty or an offensive holding penalty. Let me await Atchison's official call here. We got a false start, he's saying first. Looks like there's 2 fouls on the play and a hold. So you'll take the hold.
Holding against Iona.
You'll give back the false start. And you will push the Gales back. So 3rd and about 8 now for Iona.
From the 28.
Gonna try to get pressure on Guzman here.
Guzman drops back, looks for another target, finds one, and Crew Davis. And Davis forced out
Iona pass.
At the 14-yard line, good enough to get an Iona Prep first down.
Get your best player the ball in space. We see this a lot with Christian McCaffrey and other backs, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Get him on the outside, get him in space. Great job finishing the run, tiptoeing the sideline. About half an inch from taking that to the house.
Came into this game with 14 receptions for 226 and 2 scores. There he goes again, bouncing it to the outside. Good looking tackle by Kevin Moore.
Yeah, nice job. Bramoff on the outside, at least making him string it out without cutting it back. Good job by Moore finishing the play. But you see again, DiNapoli, Moulage, right, that right side of the line is very tough. Right, Moulage is a varsity hooper as well. You know, I don't want to see 6'8", 350 in the post.
And DiNapoli, a guy, Central Connecticut State, LIU offers. Was hurt in the spring, probably would have had more, but he lined up last year against or next to Rowan Byrne. He's now Byrne at Clemson. And another run by Davis to about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, you got DiNapoli, maybe one of the best linemen in the CHSFL. You got Malspin at the center position, one of the best centers in New York State. And then you have one of the best running backs in New York State as well. You see why this offense is scoring 42 a game.
And you see why Joe Minucci, who just called timeout, said pretty darn good on about every position that Iona has guys in. So we mentioned Byrne. He is playing next level football right now at Clemson. We usually save these kind of things for basketball season or for lacrosse season, but look at these dudes that Iona Prep has, next level players. See Hicks at Minnesota, Byrne at Clemson, Johnny Shepard transferred from Rutgers out to Washington State, Justin Jolie at NC State, and Zion Moultrie-Goddard at Syracuse.
Done a good job recruiting. You know, New York State's becoming a spot where you pick up premium talent. Minnesota, row the boat. They got a couple offers out to some of these great running backs on Long Island as well. Just an unbelievable, talent year after year for the Gales.
And if you're Minnesota, right, you're like, we did so well with Hicks. We're going to offer a few more of your guys here.
First and goal for Iona.
So a first and goal for the Gales.
What makes the Gales so tough, you got the running back, you got explosive receivers, and the dual threat quarterback, red zone nightmare.
Where are we going? We're going to Davis, and we're going into the end zone. Another rushing touchdown for Crew Davis.
Yeah, nice job by the line. 75, Abe Guerrero. Look at Galino. 65. Crew Davis pretty much goes untouched into the end zone. Look at 65. He's still blocking. It's been a touchdown. He's still blocking, still blocking. That's what you call finishing your blocks. That's going to look good for Coach Spags in the film room.
So the first two scores for Iona were Guzman to Wolf, and now Crew Davis gets in the end zone. And they will go for two after missing that earlier PAT, or having it blocked at least. Guzman rolls out to his right, looking like Joe Montana here, cuts it back to his left, still under pressure, slings it in the end zone, and he nearly made that connection with Perillo.
Yeah, good job by Bramoff, where unbelievable job sticking in the backfield, chasing down Guzman. Picked up a block from Camacho. Just falls incomplete. Look at Bramoff, right? He's hunting, he's sniffing, trying to get him. Never quitting that guy. Picks up a block. Guzman just falls incomplete, but not for lack of effort.
This is a fun one here in South Huntington. We are also at Burner Middle School, where it is Oceanside and Massapequa. We've got some fun games coming up. Little boys soccer action with Carrie and Bethpage. I'll be on the call for the Battle of the GCs. Glen Cove and Garden City. Those two teams always seem to play in the biggest games.
Football everywhere.
Football and football. We'll be back here again next Friday night as C.J. O'Neill and Cardinal Hayes comes to town, and then we'll see these Gales head to Chaminade next Saturday afternoon.
.151, I think a big drive coming up. You'd love to put some points on the board if you're St. Anthony's.
Not trying to put the pressure here on Chris Sweeney, but I wonder if at some point we can get a live look in to Burner Middle School. I'm not sure that is going to happen. Here's the return from the 30. And a good looking one as well by Scandaris. Or that Sanchez, I think it was. Sanchez. So here we go. As you said, big drive here inside the final 2 minutes of the first half.
Nice job by Sanchez. You know, nice return, 30, 25 yards, getting you towards midfield. I think it opens up your play calling if you're St. Anthony's.
And I will have to apologize to Chris Sweeney because usually that's one of those where you talk to him beforehand.
He's got it. It's a lock.
I put him on blast. So the Friars, 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line.
1st and 10 Friars from the 44.
8 on the play clock. Now 2. They do get it off. Diesto with the fake. Look out. The pressure comes. This one pops up in the air and is intercepted.
Diesto's pass is intercepted.
Josh Simmons, 6'5", got his paws on that one.
And then Willie Reeves with the recovery. Watch 8 come in here. Oh.
Yeah, up for grabs. Great job by Reeves sniffing it out. 26 tackles, add an interception now.
And now if you're Iona, a terrific opportunity to really extend your lead. You're going to get the ball coming out as well at the start of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Simmons, he has 5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks on the year, an INT. And there we have a tip. Unbelievable prospect in Simmons.
Guzman ducks under, finds Perillo, scampers forward, moving the chains.
Pass is complete to Perillo.
Yeah, it's pick your poison right now for Iona. Everything's working. You saw Bramoff able to get pressure, on the 2-point conversion. You need to disrupt him right up the middle. Don't allow him to get himself going.
2-minute offense here. Guzman under pressure. Back to the 48-yard line. Tucks it under. And he will go out of bounds to stop the clock.
Nice job. It starts with a little pressure, a little corner blitz dialed up by the Friars. Sanchez comes off the edge. Guzman also in pursuit. Much needed loss for St. Anthony's.
You wonder, would he have been better off just throwing the ball out of bounds? Granted, you'd be in a better situation than you are now. Still.
Can't throw a touchdown pass out of bounds. I think that's his mindset. This kid is
2nd and 21.
All gas.
Here is Davis. And that's a solid job of tackling. First it was Dave McHugh. And Davis had a ton of momentum behind him, but McHugh would not let go.
Yeah, scrappy, great motor. Hobart lacks recruit, but then number 9, Sanchez, he comes to finish the job. He's had a great first half for St. Anthony's.
3rd and 11 for Iona Prep.
Yeah, this is where Wolf.
Guzman slings it, looks end zone, touchdown, Iona Prep, Aiden Cassidy.
15 dials it up to 16. Wide open. Just great, great routes. Just wide open, steps up in the pocket. Great job by the O-line. Throws an absolute dime out there to Cassidy. He's 5'11", 165, strong hands, great route runner.
You see the flag that came in, that's going to be for the celebration.
Yeah, Cassidy comes in with 5 for 61 on the year. Very valuable player. He's also the holder and does a little punt returning for the Gales. This time he catches a touchdown.
So you see the signal there by Chris Atchison and an unsportsmanlike penalty against. Thought it was the Gales on the celebration. And Atchison said it'll be enforced on the kickoff. So in what was a close game, you mentioned the humming of this Iona Prep offense, where they've now got 3 consecutive scores, and they will go for 2 here. Ooh, little trickery. The flip to Davis. He will get in, and then he'll apologize to the official. Threw it his way.
St. Anthony's 28-15.
Very rare, you know, when you watch a high school team to have so many threats. Look at this little razzle-dazzle, little inside flip. You know, you see that on Sundays. The Chiefs, Andy Reid running a lot of that looks, inside screen, unbelievable job. Very rare. That's why they're one of the best teams, if not the best team in New York State, to have that many weapons on offense, from quarterback to running back, and 5 different receivers that can catch the ball. Not easy to defend them.
2 returning guys and Mailspin and to Napoli on your offensive line as well.
Yeah, you know, if that was a perfect pocket, right? It had like a wall of protection around Guzman there, and you give him that type of time, he's going to carve you up.
3 consecutive touchdowns here for Iona Prep. So now they've got a 28-15 lead, and again, they'll get the ball coming out to start the second half.
That was a big, Simmons and Reeves to knock that pass and get a tip. That could be crucial, right? It was about 141, 150 in the game. St. Anthony's was looking to score, and now it turns into another score offensively for Iona. Simmons wreaking havoc.
Here's Rob Esposito to kick. It'll come to Skandaris at the 30. And a short return. And one thing is, I know from you, so you never question Chris Sweeney's ability. So let's head now to Burner Middle School.
Ask and you shall
as they
receive.
try to punch it in.
Yes.
Gargiulo looking for the edge. He surges forward, and they're going to say he stepped out of play.
21-14 lead for the Sailors in that one. Ooh, a flag thrown there late.
Definitely no love lost between these teams. You talk about Oceanside, Pequot, you add the Dalers into the mix. That class, that Nassau A football. No shortage of flags there.
I would think not. Here's DeSo. Oh, man.
DeSo is sacked.
He had a lot of protection in the first few drives of the game, but now
Harley with the stop.
this vaunted defensive front for Iona are starting to win a lot of those battles.
Yes.
That was Deshaun Harley.
Yeah, you see Austin Farrell as well, junior. His Instagram tile is AJ the Hammer.
Nice out there to McDermott. He'll make the grab at the Iona 49-yard line. And Spag said that ultimately, when all is said is done, he thinks that all of his guys in a D-line, they'll be scholarship guys.
Yeah, Farrell, one of the top D linemen in New York State, run stuff in machine. Harley, Trujillo, a lot of talent. McDermott's 3rd target of the game. Good catch by him on the sideline.
Good look there at Joe Minucci, the St. Anthony's head coach. He said despite all of what he said was a lot of shooting themselves in the foot last week with penalties and mistakes, still you had a chance late to get that win. So,
and Coach Spags couldn't have been more kind of you know, the amount of respect he has for St. Anthony's, Coach Minucci, and how well coached St. Anthony's is. You know, you give them a week to prepare, right? They'll rebound and make a lot of corrections from last game.
So 3rd and 1 off the timeout.
3rd and 1 for the Friars.
Here is DSO. This time he has time, flushed out to his right, throws it downfield. And that one is incomplete. DSO sent to the turf by big Josh Simmons.
Yes, Simmons, you know, definitely has come alive in this second quarter. See Orion Trujillo as well.
Simmons right now, he's a junior. He's currently playing linebacker. But he's 6'5", 240. Spag says, I kind of see him being a 6'6", 260 guy next year, and he will not be a linebacker.
Yeah, Dartmouth. I see UMass, right? Josh, UMass is a good place. Check out Amherst.
So the former UMass lacrosse goalie. This is a force. The Friars to punt, but hang on. We've got a penalty. This one is going to be against the Gales.
Yes, Simmons lined up off sides.
And that'll move the chains. Let's get that offense back on the field now.
Yeah, 18 and a half left.
Here's another look. Watch. You thought it was 8 at the bottom of your screen. No. Yep.
Yeah, going to have to, you know, get a big chunk play here. Maybe even a handoff to Bala, see if he can break one.
DSO up this sideline. Incomplete.
You see what pressure does, you know. Pressure, you know, kind of speeds up an offense. It's tough to get open on deep routes if you're feeling pressure with DSO.
So 2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line of Iona Prep. DSO again under pressure, throws one long. There was contact, but it was incidental. To the officials, it was Kevin Moore looking for that ball.
DJ Smith, the cornerback for junior for Iona in coverage. Had a chance there. I mean, DSO, man, he's not afraid to step up into that pocket with some really big dudes in there. Unleashed a pretty good, accurate ball. Gave his receiver a chance, or at least a chance for a foul, a flag.
Timeout Friars.
And timeout Friars with 5 seconds left in this quarter. We'll take it with them as well. 28-15 in lead for Iona Prep. You're watching the Catholic AAA Showdown right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
And back at Cy Donnelly Field, final 5 seconds of the first half, and certainly the second quarter belonging to the boys from New Rochelle.
I wouldn't be shocked if maybe they hand this off.
Whoa, my goodness.
God,
Yes,
a flag.
It is a flag, and it is a completed pass.
Pass is complete. Flag on the play to McDermott.
That was to McDermott.
DSO took a shot.
And roughing the passer. Personal foul.
Yeah, Brady Morrison came in like a freight train. Look at this kid stand in this pocket, deliver this ball.
And good job by McDermott making the catch as well. So you'll tack on the 15 from the catch. So it's an opportunity here for the Friars to maybe take a shot. Soap at the end zone.
Just super impressed at DeSo, only a sophomore, standing in there.
And you can see Brody Hoffman tapping him on the shoulder, saying, "Good job, kid." So look at this, all the way down to the 13-yard line. 0.7 seconds left.
Gotta block this if you're the line. Look for Russo. Kevin Moore, big playability as well.
Yeah, Moore's at the top of your screen with DJ Smith on him, but we'll get a timeout by Iona first. Make no mistake, so this is a big play in this one. Iona has all the momentum, and that personal foul that's tacked on after the catch now gives St. Anthony's a chance to feel good going into the break.
Yeah, if you're Minucci and staff, right, you have to be you talking to that offensive line. You're saying, just give DeSo some time. They've been real physical on the coverage on the outside. If you can get up there in a 50-50 situation, either catch it or put the referees in a situation to maybe throw the laundry, that's what you're looking for, but you got to block it up.
Busy, tough stretch here for the Friars. Home for Hayes at Chaminade before trips to Stepinac and Fordham Prep. The next two games we'll have here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So here we go. 0.7 seconds left. DeSo over the middle, in and out of the hands of Willie Reeves. He already has himself a pick in this game, nearly got his second.
Yeah, good job by the offensive line, giving DeSo some time. Good coverage on the outside. Nice job by Reeves. Good end to the half for the Iona defense.
So we go into the break. It is Iona with a 28-15 lead. And how about Guzman? Maryland baseball throws a strike to Aiden Cassidy. Spin that football, Aiden.
15-16, over and out.
It's halftime here at St. Anthony's. You're watching this Catholic AAA showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And it's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now. Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job in exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hi, I'm Katie Ledecky. As an Olympic athlete, you might think staying healthy is easy for me. Truth is, we all face challenges. Keeping the right mindset is how we achieve our best personal performance. At Catholic Health, the same focus on wellness and prevention that I follow every day is the way they think too. That's why I'm teaming up with Catholic Health to help make healthcare even more positive, proactive, and personal for every person across Long Island. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
And welcome back. See some of the scenes here, the snack stand in that beautiful new building in that end zone. I'm not sure what they have over there, but listen, I'm hungry. Can they like Uber Eats it over here? Or?
Oh, Apple Pay I see they take, but unbelievable scene here. Some great performances by the kick line, cheerleaders, and some baton twirling. An amazing spectacle here at St. Anthony's.
We welcome you back inside the press box here, and 28-15 the lead for Iona Prep. This was a close game for the first quarter into the second quarter, and then the Gales kind of flex their muscles a little bit, showing some of that championship pedigree that they have to take this lead into the half. So let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. And we start off early in that first quarter. How about this one for Xavier Butler? Really kind of saying, listen, we are here to play.
Wildcat formation, 1-yard touchdown. They added a 2-point conversion to make it 8-0. Then Wolf, right, he's at his best in one-on-one opportunities. 35-yard touchdown catch by him. St. Anthony's responded, right? Watch the finish on this run by Bala. 9-yard TD, wrecking ball type action at the end. Gets across the goal line. It was going real well for the St. Anthony's Friars. Wolf again, little yak, 25 yards after the catch. 39-yard touchdown. 99 receiving yards for Wolf in that first half. Then Davis untouched into the end zone. 4-yard touchdown carry for him. Then to top it all off, you see Guzman to Cassidy. Unbelievable job, some great route running, great calls by the offensive coordinator for Iona. The second half of that second quarter has been all Gales.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll have the third quarter when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Long live the morning routine. Long live friendly competition. Long live cozy nights at home. And long live healthcare that works with your life. Access to great doctors, simple mobile app, convenient locations across Long Island? Absolutely. You have options, but at Catholic Health, we'd like to remind you to choose you first, because we did too. Long live you, and long live Long Island.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media's been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at Cy Donnelly Field, South Huntington, Long Island. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper, our entire Varsity Media crew here as we get set for the start of quarter number 3. It is the Gales with a 28-15 lead over the Friars. And it will be Iona Prep to receive as well. St. Anthony's had a chance at the end zone there to maybe get some more points, take some momentum into the second half. They were unable to do so, which makes now this drive, once Iona Prep starts it, really critical for the defense to get a stop.
Defensive pressure from Iona. You know, St. Anthony's had a chance to capitalize on a roughing the passer penalty at the end there. The last thing you want, though, for St. Anthony's is to give the ball to Guzman. What a first half for him. 11 for 13, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT, but just leading this offense at times looking unstoppable.
So Materia is deep with Sangare, as it is Novellino to kick off for the Friars. Sangare from the 15, like a freight train past the 40-yard line.
Sangare on the return.
And you mentioned the efficiency, those numbers. We thank Jared Veluzzi reporting here for Newsday tonight with those numbers, but talk about efficiency, huh? 11 of 13 for Guzman, 3 touchdowns, that 1 pick, but that's what you expect from your senior quarterback.
Yeah, last week he was 12 for 16 for 5 total touchdowns. Just red hot.
Trips right for the Gales. We'll hand it off to Crew Davis. Davis, a burst through the middle.
Davis on the carry.
Danny Rooney with the tackle on the other side of the 50. Davis, and you kind of think like you take this if you're the Friars. 11 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown in that first half. Also had 1 reception for 14 yards.
Yeah, dudes everywhere. Pretty darn good, as we mentioned in the opening. They're winning in the trenches, and you add those skill guys to the mix. Very tough team to defend.
Cassidy in motion. They'll go his way. Guzman, Cassidy cuts it inside, breaks the first tackle, but not the second and third. Looks like Moore was in on that tackle for the Friars.
Moore, Filiberto.
Filiberto and Moore in on the stop.
As well as Reichert in on the tackle.
And that one was a
Second
TFL
and 12 from the 49.
with that pass being behind the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 12 now for the Gales. He mentions their offensive efficiency. It's ridiculous this season. 42.7 points per game, only giving up 17. And this guy, number 5 in white, is a big part of that.
Davis on the carry.
Yeah, nice job. David McHugh saves a touchdown there. His ability to get up to full speed, to break tackles.
And Davis worked really hard in the offseason, kind of realized, 1, listen, I'm entering my final year of high school, and 2, realizing after that I'm going down to Chapel Hill, and that's when his level needs to be even higher.
3-year starter.
Guzman. And he'll get the push. That was a good job
on
the read by Bramoff.
Shaughnessy with the stop.
Yeah, that was 7 on the carry. That's Jaden Jackson, sophomore quarterback from Freeport.
Correct, and that was sophomore quarterback Jaden Jackson on the last
That's
carry.
just unfair. You're picking it from St. Anthony's territory.
From the 44.
So here we go, 4th down. Guzman back in at QB.
Yeah, Jackson, that QB of the future, getting a little package on offense.
Trips left. Low snap. Guzman goes that way. That is complete and more. Who else? Joe Wolf. Touchdown. Iona.
Iona touchdown scored by the senior wide receiver.
Yeah, that's his 3rd touchdown of the game. Are you kidding me with this arm strength by Guzman? To throw the ball out to that hash with that speed. Unbelievable job. Pushes Wolf to over 150 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. That arm strength to pitch that ball out there all the way outside the hash. Tremendous job.
Esposito on to attempt the the PAT. Cassidy is your holder, and Tyler Wells is your long snapper. High snap, got down nicely, and Esposito puts that through the uprights. 35-15 is your lead now for Iona. Pop on Varsity Media, you guys, under that tent. Back after this from Cy Donnelly Field.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back here at Cy Donnelly, the cheerleaders, part of what was an outstanding halftime performance here from the whole support staff. The cheerleaders, the kick line, a couple of sisters doing some unbelievable twirling as well, the baton.
Yeah, catching the baton, just like, Wolf's been catching those touchdown passes from Guzman. Matches his 4 touchdown passes from last week.
I believe that's more from his own 20. Now the St. Anthony's offense will come onto the field. Big hill to climb right now for the Friars, down by 20.
Happened fast, right? Before, we were looking at a 1-point game, seems like a couple minutes ago, and now it's a 20-point lead. The explosiveness of Iona Prep, got a turnover there at the end of the half, led to a touchdown, kind of swung this game's momentum.
And that's where you see true greatness, right? Because you can know, and we've seen you go from Guzman to Wolf, right?
First and 10 Friars.
So you kind of know it's going to go that way, but you still get it. DSO handing off. And there is Bala continuing to move those legs.
I think it's important for St. Anthony's to keep that balance, right, to keep feeding Bala, take some pressure off DSO at times, because if he just drops back here against this pass rush of Iona, it's going to be difficult.
From the 42.
Xavier Bala, 6'1", 215 junior. Came into this game with 102 carries, 581 yards, and 8 touchdowns. DSO over the middle, tough place to throw it. Russo had that one stripped. But there were 3 different Gales there that were hunting for that football.
Yeah, Sangari got his hands on this, knocked it down. Just tight windows, this defense of Iona. They're a pretty good defense, but they become a really, really good defense with a 20-point lead, able to pin their ears back.
I have a correction to make there. They're pretty darn good.
Yeah. 42.
DSO, he's chased, tucks it under. Great job by DSO, crossing the 50. He got the first down quite a while ago, but continued to get more. Finally scampers out of bounds at about the 36-yard line of Iona.
Great decision. Just watch the speed. Watch him get up to top speed here and making defenders miss. Right, whoop to the outside here. Crosses up a pretty good one on the outside. And Lamar Lewis, right, junior, 6'3", 175, who Coach Spags calls a freak athlete. Well, the SO looked pretty freakish on the scramble.
Trips left right now.
DSO on the carry.
Fake handoff, and it's DSO again. And it does feel like we're kind of seeing him every play, right? Every chance here. Grow in confidence, grow up as a QB. Again, just a sophomore.
2nd and 5 from the 31.
The key there, too, is he didn't have to be Gary Merrill, right away, or even Dante Torres before that. He just had to be himself. And again, tucks it under. Finally pulled down by Frank Della Rosa.
Partly with the stop.
Yeah, Della Rosa is a strong thumper. 300-pound bench press. I don't think DeSo weighs 300 pounds, even close, soaking wet. But nice job by him. Real impressive so far on this drive by DeSo, showing no back down.
3 from the 29.
3rd and 3.
Flag
Some
on the
movement
flag.
there. And Chris Atchison says that was a full start on the offense. It is a cleaner game than it was last week for St. Anthony's in terms of the amount of penalties, but they're still coming at the most inopportune moments.
Yeah, you had a 3rd and 3. Now you're looking at 3rd and 8.
Third and 8 now for the Friars.
DeSo faked it to Bala, finds Mancaruso, broke the arm tackle, and he's finally taken down inside the 25-yard line to move the chains.
Yeah, nice screen pass to Mancaruso, senior 6'1", also a UNC lax commit. His ability to shake off tackles was heavily used in the passing game last week against Farrell with 7 grabs. Big 3rd down catch, screen pass, great call by St. Anthony's.
And out of Bala. And he'll get pulled down at about the 17-yard line. It was Lamar Lewis. You mentioned him a moment ago. Two-way starter, the junior from Stamford, Connecticut. Brother Omari, starting corner at LIU. Dad played at URI, so he got the bloodlines.
Yeah, Coach Spag says he checks all the boxes, elite size, strength. You see 2 tackles on this drive alone.
Back to Bala, finds that hole. That's a great job by those guys up front. As they'll move the chains again. Watch this huge hole that opens up on the right side of that St. Anthony's line.
I think that's Joseph, the sophomore, 6'5", just a young pup, but huge size, tall, athletic. Nice hole there. You see it. Give him a crease, a little roll off. One guy is never bringing down Bala.
Yeah, it was Furnell there as well. Handoff to Bala.
Bala on the carry.
Yeah, you saw Reeves come crashing down, but kind of almost propelled Bala to continue on.
2nd and 5 from the 8.
Again, ESPN getting those 4 stars. They don't hand out those stars to anybody. To get 4 stars, that's a tremendous honor for him, and keeps working every single day tirelessly.
Here comes DeSo. DeSo gets in!
DeSo on the carry.
Or did he not? And he didn't.
Yeah, watch out here. I think it's Jax Prokop with a great block on the outside. Switches the ball to the inside.
I don't know. I saw him dive at that pylon. It'll be a 1st and goal. And there's Bala. Oh, what a tackle from behind.
Bala on the carry.
Mamadou Sangare.
Sangare with the stop.
Says not today. Looked like it was a walk-in touchdown. Backside, scraped down, grabbed the ankles, grabbed the shoe. It's a shoe spike. Who throws a shoe?
Here we go now, 2nd and goal. DeSo with the fake to Bala. And there's a host of Gales in on that tackle.
Yeah, drum knee.
Foul with the stop.
Austin Farrell there as well.
It's a big call, right? That big touchdown, no touchdown call, a big one, right? Now looking at 3rd and goal.
Bala again trying to bounce it to the outside. This time, he is in.
Yeah, Prokop with his second really good block. 6'4", 220, physical blocker. He's sure-handed, but they like to use him in the run game. You see on the outside here, kind of secures the edge, lets Bala use his speed. Shakes off a tackle by Willie Reeves, walks into the end zone.
Yeah, Reeves trying to pull the Sangaré there, get him at the shoestrings, but Bala gets in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. Novellino to kick. Zenk is your long snapper, and Mason Carreras to hold. The kick is up.
Kick is good.
And it
Iona now
is
leads
good.
St.
So
Anthony's
35-21 now the
35-22.
lead for Iona Prep with 3:18 remaining. Xavier Bala,
Attention fans, the 50-50
he's got
$50
college
raffle.
football
Winning
certainly in his
ticket is
future.
36,000,
And he'll
so
join some of these guys at the next
0,
level.
0, 0,
How about
Deaf,
this list, huh?
960.
Strong and
Again,
Duff
36,000
down the
Deaf,
banks of the
960
Raritan.
is the winning ticket.
Dante
Please come up to the
Torres
press box to claim the prize.
doing his thing up at Harvard.
And this will be
And
the
Jaden
last
Platt,
call.
Kenyon Miles, among others. We mentioned Carson Chanchuli on the D-line up at Ithaca.
Yeah, Duff's been making plays for Rutgers. Scored a touchdown a couple weeks back. Unbelievable job by him, and you know, just great talent up and down these rosters. None better than 14, looking to bring his. Where's he gonna go? Right, Big Ten offers. Just you know, the elite of the elite are after the services of Xavier Bala.
Yeah, Syracuse, I think, was the first in on him. So good job by the Cuse. Rutgers among those offers. Minnesota, we mentioned before, right? Recruiting Bala there as well. But then Alabama, Penn State, Ohio State, Nebraska, Maryland, Boise State, Eastern Michigan, Temple, UMass, UConn, BC, Buffalo, and Bowling Green all sending those Instagram.
Yeah, one of the last ones. UVA's in on the party now. The Who's sending personal messages as well. But you see how big like the social media game has become in recruiting. Just a huge part of the presence online by the programs.
So Novellino to kick off.
Onside.
And it will take that wild
There you
bounce,
go.
and it is recovered by the Friars.
You can't advance it. They'll get it at the 40.
We saw that work a week ago, and it was Sanchez, it looks like, who fell on it. And I'll tell you, Novellino.
Hey, you gotta give a clap to that kid, right? Responding, right? Tough last week, but man, that's onside kick wizardry to get that hop. And Sanchez has been all over the field tonight for the Friars.
Now the question I think coming across the way from Spags is the same kind of question that Rocco at Farrell had a week ago. Did he drive it into the ground? Because you can't drive the ball into the ground. And you saw, though, that was in the 3rd bounce, just like it was a week ago.
First and 10 Friars from the 40.
Great response by St. Anthony's. Great drive. Special teams comes through. Gets very interesting if they can punch this in.
They got 1st and 10 from the Iona 40. Handoff, Xavier Bala.
Bala on the carry.
Got a couple of yards there on 1st down.
Yeah, a lot of DSO last drive, mixing a little Bala. See if maybe they take a shot on the outside to Russo.
That's where I think you two missed the sophomore Christian Bordeaux. 27 carries for 159. Didn't play last week. Was questionable coming into this game as well. There's Bala. Cuts it to the right. Lowers his shoulder. Pushes himself forward. which will set up a manageable third down
On the carry.
for the Friars.
Camacho Jr. with the stop.
Camacho in on the tackle. Camacho Jr.'s first year on defense. Last year was a tight end. So far, so good with 18 tackles coming to game 4 for losses.
Low snap. Diesel goes far side for Moore. He'll get the first down and more. Look at the explosion down the far sideline. Kevin Moore, touchdown, St. Anthony's, a 23-yard score.
Tremendous job. They score. Special teams, recovery, leads to a touchdown. Give it to your senior. Give it to your playmaker. Well blocked on the outside. Seniors making plays. Right, great job by Man Caruso on the outside to spring Moore. Didn't know Blue Hens could run so fast.
So Novellino off of that successful onside kick. Here to attempt the PAT. And it is up. And it is good. Yes, it is interesting now. 35-28 is your score as St. Anthony's has roared back in this one. Don't go anywhere. You're watching it all right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
And back in South Huntington, Joe Minucci's got to like what he's seen as a response from his guys in this one.
Love to see Kevin Moore. He's on the sideline getting a well-deserved water bottle squirt, but firing up the St. Anthony's sideline.
And now you got Iona thinking, right? You have Hans team now up front.
Double onside.
And I'll tell you, there's a big gap from like the 40 to the 20. If you could maybe chip shot that one there. And that's the direction that Novellino went. Wolf's got to back up to get that ball and no return.
Yeah, nice job by the special teams.
If Team USA could have chipped like that last week.
Yeah, we might have been Ryder Cup champs.
For the Flyers, give a 50-50. 36,000-922.
But that was John Drew getting down there on special teams with the tackle.
30-922. Please come to the press
one of our
box
guys
to get your prize.
players to watch in this one.
Yeah, returning starter from East Northport. Tons of improvement year after year.
Well, we've got a one-score ball game here, buddy. 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, got to get a stop.
Guzman over the middle. Perillo! One hand! Incredible grab by Perillo. What a response for the Gales.
Got some sticky fingers.
72 yards.
Just fifth touchdown on the game. Why use 2 when you can use 1? Unbelievable job. An array of weapons for Guzman, but put that on the Instagram. Perillo, send that out to the Patriot at Nescax that might need your services.
Yeah, Wolf gets so much of the attention, rightfully so, right? But Perillo kind of flies under the radar a little bit, but just a dynamic playmaker. More of that fast twitch slot guy than Wolf.
Yeah, brings experience, 2-time starter.
Because he spiked the football, the flag was thrown. Here's Guzman attempting the two-point conversion, goes into the corner, the back corner of the end zone to find Joe Wolf. So the infraction, that'll be on the kickoff as there is an injured Iona player on the field. But what an immediate response, so from the defending champs.
Quick playability.
All right, fans, one more
just
time. Let's
unbelievable.
get this win.
Pressure in his
Let's
face.
50-50.
Just one hand
Raffle,
sticks it out there,
$486.
takes it to the
Winning ticket is
house.
$36,000.
Just watch the emotion as he scores this touchdown. This is what high school football is all about. Did I really just do that? He's saying, of course I did.
Dependable, consistently catches the ball, runs great routes. Yeah, if you're one of those NESCACs, if you're one of those Patriot League programs, yeah, take an eye, look out for Eric Perillo, 5'10" senior from Harrison. With this injury, we'll actually keep it here as they've got the injured Gale up now at the back end of that end zone.
It's Lamar Lewis, number 3. Hope he's okay. Junior with D1 ability.
Yeah, being helped off the field now. We wish him certainly a speedy recovery. And it was a speedy response. And I think Spags there is like, why? Listen, you made a great play. Don't spike. You coaches, man, you guys always find something.
I make that grab, I'm spiking it. But, I mean, what is the for Guzman now? That's 5 touchdowns in the air, 330 yards. Unbelievable game for him so far.
Yeah, came into this game 50 of 69 for 828 yards. So he'll eclipse 1,000-yard mark, 11 touchdowns coming into this game on the season, 2 rushing scores. And the thing about him now, right, like the tape is out there, but he's a senior. He's a Maryland baseball commit. A little bit late in the game, I think some of these programmers are like, we like the kid, but we don't have a spot.
Yeah, you know, throws it close to 90 miles an hour, plays shortstop, right-handed pitcher.
Maybe Boomer Esiason can make a phone call.
I was just going to say that. We're in Suffolk, Maryland. You know, played a little baseball himself. Boomer. But, yeah, just slinging the rock. You think Maryland, Suffolk County, you know, football, you can't help but think of Boomer Esiason.
So Iona with the response, 43-29 is their lead. Now, we have seen some high-scoring football games here on Friday night on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Espo goes short to the 40. Nice cut back and some positive yardage right now for the Friars.
Anthony Sanchez again, special teams to cover the onside, catches that one, returns it into Gale's territory.
We are also currently live, I think still live at Burner Middle School. Yes, we are. Oh, look at this. The student body excited, as they should be, right? 30, look at that score. 34-33, final 40 seconds of the fourth quarter.
Exciting football. You see it a very...
Let's watch that replay. Oh, almost. Here's Bala bouncing it to the outside, and he'll get taken down at the 45-yard line.
Willie Reeves in on the tackle. Those Chiefs never quit, right? They were down, right? Looks like they've taken a lead, but under a minute to go. Oceanside doesn't need much time.
I thought you were referring to Guzman and his love of Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs there, as Massapequa looks like gets the 2-point to make it a 3-point lead.
2nd and 9 from the 45, flag on the play.
Yeah, Oceanside, they do have a kicker who has some range.
False start on the offense.
Full start against St. Anthony's.
We'll have a full weekend of Catholic League football next weekend. We'll be back here as Cardinal Hayes makes the trip from the Grand Concourse to South Huntington. And then we'll be at Gold Star Stadium where Iona Prep will make a more manageable trip. And how about that grab by Kevin Moore?
Senior stepping up, making plays. DSO has been very accurate tonight when he's been given some time. Great job by the line, delivers a strike. Great job by Moore hanging on to that, taking a hit at the end from Sangaré.
So inside the 30 now for the Friars. Bala, look out. Somehow was able to avoid a couple of tacklers. They'll get back at least to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a 4-yard loss turned into a no gainer or a 1-yard gainer. Somehow eluded Austin Farrell, one of the best D lineman run machine stopper for the Gales.
Final 15 seconds of quarter number 3. And the Friars won't have to run a play here as we'll head to the 4th quarter. Well, it was the 3rd quarter where St. Anthony's got themselves back in this game. Some trickery, some big play ability. And then Iona, Guzman. And this is a Perillo tour to the end zone.
It was a 1-score game, and it only took one hand to make it a 2-score game. Nice job, Dylan. Perillo tours. Love those commercials.
43-29 the lead for Iona Prep, getting to the 4th quarter here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Back in South Huntington, back to Xavier Bala. And that stout Iona Prep defense, Eric Camacho among those in on the tackle.
Yeah, Farrell starting to make his presence felt as well.
I haven't really talked about the junior from the Bronx, but one of the top D linemen likely in New York State. Just a run-stopping machine.
Yeah, 6 tackles for loss coming in. Right side of that line's really held up well. Joseph, Scalise, Furnell.
And Joseph's another guy, had to grow up a lot in this game, right? Facing these dudes up front. Here comes DSO. And terrific defense. We have called Poole's name a bunch here tonight. And Poole again with the pass breakup.
Yeah, St. Anthony's rolls that pocket out, gets DSO on the outside on the move. But Poole's been really tight in his coverage. Looked like Manacaruso was the intended target.
4th and 8 from the 28.
So 4th down now for the Friars. And Iona bringing the pressure. DSO somehow gets out of that, angles himself towards the 1st down marker, and he gets it.
Josh Simmons is beside himself. He's like, how did I not get a sack there? Talk about a difference in stature. Here's 6'5" coming into your house. DSO escapes, been really impressed with the speed he's shown and his escapability. One is a super tough sophomore.
And he had to escape 2 other guys, but a great job there by Bala, too, blocking for him to allow him to get off on that angled run for the first down.
Really keeps St. Anthony's in this. A score away from making it a 1-score game.
DSO to Mancaruso, spins, and he's taken down by Poole again.
Poole with the stop.
Willie Reeves was in on the tackle as well. Gain of about 2 there for the Friars.
Yeah, DSO's been, he's proven to be a tough guy to sack. Plenty of pressure in the backfield.
From the 15.
There's Bala, turns it inside, and he meets a host of defenders. Sangare among them, Presley as well. Haven't talked about Brennan Presley a lot, but 5'10" senior from Harlem, 23 tackles on the year, 6 for losses, and that biggest games of the year last year had come up huge for the Gales.
Yeah, Sangare is one of those guys not afraid of contact, looking to fly up and hit somebody.
DSO. This time wasn't escaping the clutches.
Oh, Simmons again. He's like, I finally got him. It's been like the Wile E. Coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner.
And I think Orion Trujillo also in there. The senior from Astoria, 2-year starter on that D-line. And now another 4th down. You can get a 1st down here if you are the Friars. It's about a 4th and 2.
Yeah, we saw right in this position is where Bala took it onto the outside. Same.
Well, we thought he was going that way. Tried to cut it back, but going nowhere. There is that man again, Josh Simmons.
Just a game wrecker, tackles for loss. He has 2.5 sacks on the year. He has an INT. Getting Bala to the ground in one-on-one situations, not easy. Fired up. Dartmouth, Bowling Green, UMass, looking for this elite pass rusher and run stopper.
Yeah, major upside from Simmons.
And still growing.
Imagine that grocery bill every week. So now 1st down for Iona.
1st and 10 Iona.
Handoff. Looks like that is Davis.
Davis on the carry.
Now a great chance for Iona to eat up some of this clock soap and perhaps come out of South Huntington here with a win.
Yeah, averaging, right at their average, right? They've been averaging 42.7 points a game so far in their 4-0 start.
Guzman, a little pump fake. Now he scrambles, points downfield, and more in and out of his hands. That was a mistake by Guzman that nearly was devastating, as the only guy anywhere near was Kevin Moore.
Shows Guzman's confidence in his arm, but that's one more. Doesn't drop too often, but tough as he's kind of sprinting to the sideline. Not an easy catch at all. 3rd down, must stop if you're St. Anthony's.
Yeah, 3rd and about 5. Play clock inside of 5 seconds now. Guzman quick out. And Crew Davis doesn't quite have the stick-em on his hands that Perillo does. And you go 3 and out now.
Just enough pressure. John Drew came through. Ethan Bramoff as well. Bramoff had a sack last week versus Farrell. Just enough pressure to get Guzman off of his spot.
our first look at Iona Prep's kicker, Louis Casidis. Deep for St. Anthony's is Johnny Russo. End over end, Russo will let it bounce. It will take an Iona Prep bounce out of bounds, as St. Anthony's will go back on offense. And Iona Prep, after this trip to St. Anthony's, they will head to Chaminade, a game we'll have for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network, then home for a very good Monsignor Farrell team that came here to win. You head to Kellenberg with their new facility there, and then you take on your rivals to end the regular season, Archbishop Stepanak.
Program Spags is very familiar with.
So here comes St. Anthony's now. 1st and 10 from their own 37. That is Bala. Bouncing it to the outside. Flag is thrown.
Flag on the play.
And I think this is against Joseph. We've lauded him for so much growing up.
Holding against the Friars.
And this time, looks like there was a hold on the edge. And that'll bring this one back.
Yeah, he held Simmons, who's been an absolute game wrecker in the second half of this game.
Ten-yard penalty, backs up the Friars to their own 27-yard line.
1st down and 20 from the 37. Or from
Diesso looks this way into double coverage. Was he in bounds? That's the question. Sangare got the ball, and the officials are saying no.
Just unbelievable range Sangare shows.
Well, let's take another look. Oh, looks like he had a foot in.
I think on Sunday that might get overturned.
Not on Friday. Well, on Friday, you only need the 1 foot in.
2nd and 10, or 2nd and 20.
Mamadou Sangare.
From the 27.
Yeah, just, you know, he got a read on it. Got to jump on it. You see the ball skills.
All kinds of movement on that
Flag
line.
on the play. Ball start.
Yeah, the defensive line of Iona shifted, caused a false start. Starting to see some of the depth of Iona's defense, rotating 3 or 4 guys in on at a time. Oh.
Well, after
It's
the
offsides against Iona.
interception that looked like a good one, now that looked surely like it would be against the offense, and the officials having another conversation about this. But the initial call, Soap, was against Iona. So the Gales getting an explanation on the far side.
Ooh, all 5 coaches are getting an explanation.
They've got some good ones there. DC for Iona, the great. There you see the look across the way.
2nd and 15 from the 31.
Lou Di Rienzo, defensive coordinator, former New Rochelle great, won some state championships there. Sangare said, I don't care what you're calling against us. I'm still getting a stop.
Wow. Some athlete. You see why he has over 7 D1 offers already. Captain of this defense. Can stop the run as well as cover.
Third and very long right now for the Friars. Diesso rolls right. And that was again nearly intercepted. Willie Reeves was right there. I think we have another flag on the play. What has been a mostly, you would say, clean game, right, until the fourth, as we've now seen a host of penalties.
Yeah, we saw pressure coming from 88, Chase Thompson. He's a senior, transferred in from Tottenville. Coach Spagnuolo says he's fit in perfectly, a real talented player. Only wishes maybe they got him a little bit sooner.
Yeah, in limited minutes, has put up some great numbers, right? 11 tackles, 3 tackles for losses, 2 sacks already.
Great size, right? 6'4", 235.
And we have 4th and 15 from the 31.
Embarrassment of riches for the Gales.
Yeah, to his point, right? That's one of those where you wish he came in as a junior. Now he might be also on that list of a bunch of offers. Well, you got to go here if you are the Friars. Here comes Diesso under pressure, tucks under it. Tries to angle it towards that far sideline. Camacho says no.
Camacho Jr. with the stop, short of the line to gain.
It will be Iona Prep ball.
Yeah, you see the speed of the junior Camacho Jr. Looks like he fits pretty well on the defensive side of the football.
Great looking tackle. 6:49 left in quarter number 4. Certainly looking like Iona will improve to a perfect 5-0 on the season. And 3-0 in the Catholic League.
From the 35.
There's Perillo in motion. Handoff to Davis.
Davis on
Blast
the carry.
through would-be tacklers and
McHugh in
gets
there
to about
first for
the
the Friars.
6-yard line.
Runs right behind DiNapoli. This is Crew Davis time.
3.
Looking to secure this win for Iona.
26.
I know that, you don't want to take moral victories away. It's still 6:22, but St. Anthony's has played real tough today. Good response by them.
Guzman rolls to his right, and this time does throw it out of bounds. And to your point, Soap, I think they've gotten better tonight, right? You come off that really disappointing and tough loss to Monsignor Farrell, and you competed tonight against Iona Prep. Now the only problem is on the other side is the team that everyone thinks will win back-to-back Catholic League championships this year. So if this is the best team you're going to play this year, well, the Friars prove that they can compete against them.
Yeah, Diesso's, improved tonight. Bala's pretty much a given, but.
And this guy has proven what his coach has said, right? Maybe the best all-around player in the CHSFL, Sangaré. First down for Iona.
Yeah, wide receiver, running back, give him the ball, all around superior player.
Iona Prep with 3 AAA championships, and they were a team that really rose the ranks, right? You had 1A title, and that was back beating their rivals Stepanak in 1993, and then you go into the AA, you win a couple of championships there, and they have been this entire time that Spags has been the head coach, as there is Davis blasting up the middle, keeping the legs moving. Another touchdown for Iona as the Gales, yeah, they are for real, as they're looking for their 4th AAA championship this year.
Yeah, Crew Davis, he's a closer right here, closing this game out. Shed some tackles, not stopping him to the goal line. Puts Iona over 50 points for the game.
And the funny thing, too, that Spag said, right, like he's got everybody saying, listen, have Guzman be the kicker. He's like, are you crazy? He's like, I don't want him anywhere near anything but being the quarterback. No holder, no snapper. As Esposito puts this kick up through the uprights. 5:16 left in this one. Those guys, number 5 especially, will enjoy watching that highlight, as it is the Gales with a 50-29 lead. You're watching it here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
And they see Iona getting ready to kick off here. You look at their schedule and you open the season with a 37-7 non-league win at Somers, and then where they really, I think, opened eyes is you go over and you cross the bridge, right? And you have that annual Battle of the Bridge where the best non-publics in Jersey play the best Catholic school teams in New York, and they beat Paramus Catholic 58-48. They followed that with a 34-0 win over St. Joe's C, that 42-14 win over Hayes last week, and now they lead St. Anthony's 50-29.
14 straight wins. You know, you're led by seniors, Guzman, Davis, Wolf, Perillo. You know, it's averaging close to 50 points a game.
There is more.
Willie Reeves still playing hard.
And I think the challenge, right, for Spags and Iona is, can we make sure that all of our dudes eat, right? But it seems like they do that, man. Like, that's really impressive.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, not to say that you won 14 in a row, that you need, you know, you got to keep them motivated. But I think that was one thing that Spag said is, like, we kind of need a reality check, right? We might need a wake-up call. And, you know, for the first quarter and a half of this game, it was a ball game with St. Anthony. So I think perfect scenario. You got your little wake-up call with your Spags, and you pulled away with your superior talent on the outside as well as in the trenches.
But I think, too, if you look at Guzman, right, at QB, early on it was very much him to Wolf, right? And that's the combination. Then you hand off to Crew Davis, but then he got others involved, right? We saw the touchdown catch by Perillo. He got Cassidy involved as well.
Yeah, Coach Minucci called Crew Davis a beast, right? The quarterback was so impressed with him, his ability to get the ball out. But then he said that rotation of receivers is just really tough to stop, and we saw it on full display here and their big playability.
It doesn't appear that there are holes anywhere in the three levels right now, and what's maybe scary here as Bala throws a stiff arm, tries to cut it to the outside, is Esposito is their second string kicker, right? Their regular kicker is still out for about a month, and we also didn't see another receiver who's also injured. So there's even more guys to play a big role for this Iona Prep team.
Yeah, we haven't seen Lamar Lewis go back in, right? He was hurt in the back of the end zone. Hope he's okay.
And you feel like that's the other part of it, too. Again, we mentioned earlier about the depth, as it is Diesso coming this way, has Bala as a blocker, turns the corner, shows the toughness, man, crossing midfield. Took a hit, continued to churn the legs.
Yeah, he came in with 97 yards on the ground. I'd say he's probably close to that tonight. I think that second half, that's a big takeaway. We saw this a lot, you know, not to compare him to Merrill, but running the ball with the quarterback was a big part of St. Anthony's offense. And I think you're starting to see Diesso gain some confidence and you see his speed to the outside.
In defeat, still a great game
Ball on the
by
play.
Diesso.
Harley
How
with
about
the
that
stop.
tackle by Deshaun Harley? You think Harley knows the offers and who that guy running the football is?
Yeah, it's a good way to get yourself noticed. That's a great tackle for loss on a great, highly recruitable running back. 6'3", 280 for Harley. Kind of that guy Spagnuolo said is breaking out every single day, every single practice.
But again, if you're Iona, right, you have the depth. So now if you have even like a minor injury, you could rest the guy because you have that next man up. Like last week, you didn't have the Napoli play against Hayes. Probably didn't need him, right? They obviously won that game pretty handily. Now he's healthy to play in this one. That's man Caruso.
His pass is complete to man
Saw that a lot
Caruso.
early, these kind of quick passes to the outside, very successful early on. Unfortunately, when you fall behind, right, it kind of maybe takes that out of your offense for a bit, but definitely a positive takeaway, right, man
36
Caruso, quick outs
from the
by
46.
Diesso.
And I think it'll be interesting to see how St. Anthony's progresses from here. Like you said, listen, it's the AAA of the Catholic League. There are no moral victories, but they do look better than they did last week. And if they do that again next week, they'll get, you would suspect, a win over a Hayes team that seems to be a little bit down this year, as Diesso pops it to the outside, still on his feet.
Diesso on the carry.
Yeah, chased down by Simmons.
And that's good for another.
But yeah, even Spagnuolo was
first
talking
down.
about it and how well coached, you know, St. Anthony's is with Minucci. It's like, get yourself into the playoffs, get to that semifinal game, and it comes down to you got to win a game. And St. Anthony's has enough talent to do that for sure.
And also the way the PowerPoints work, right? St. Anthony's came into this one, or came into the season as the preseason #2. So you start getting those points going around, and you know you could be hosting that semifinal game. They could be a top 3 seed. Let's see. Diesso, that quick out, incomplete to Moore. Final 1:24 of this one. And again, you go back, right, to that Perillo catch. St. Anthony's has all the momentum, right? Their crowd excited. You had some big plays go your way, and then in an instant, one play.
Yeah, 72 yards. Then you have that Simmons hit with the Reeves interception.
A nice knockdown. You said his name before. That is Chase Thompson. Chase was on the case. 6'4", 235.
You see the speed, right? 6'4" with speed, that length. Not, you know, you see, like it's not easy to get on the field with this Iona Prep team. There's a lot of talent.
But you've got to imagine that their practices then, right? How good must they be? Diesso off his back foot, jump ball. That is caught inside the 5. How about it, Johnny Russo?
Yeah, great job, great adjustment here. Again, Diesso's at his best when he's on the move. Bala lead blocking. Look at this adjustment, right? Just win it. Gains inside leverage. Nice catch by Russo. 1st and goal for the Friars.
See if they can get one more score here.
Yeah.
Bala looking for somewhere to go. And he's met by a host of tacklers. Sangaré
with the stop.
The first there. Camacho there as well.
2nd and goal from the 9.
Inside the final minute now. Bala motions to the left. D'Esso goes the other way. Tucks it under. D'Esso. Yeah, this time he's in the end zone. Anthony D'Esso. Touchdown run for St. Anthony's.
That's going to do a lot for his confidence. I think in the second half you saw the blossoming of a real dual threat quarterback. Been impressed with his accuracy today, as well as his ability to make people miss in the secondary. I think they found something here with D'Esso, this sensational sophomore, filling in some big shoes for St. Anthony's.
Yeah, I think in addition to his algebra book and maybe Spanish, whatever he takes, he's got that playbook with him at all times. Great student of the game is D'Esso. Novellino's point after is up, and it is good.
For all the pressure he got, his escapability, I don't know, maybe one sack, but a lot of pressure in the backfield. His elusiveness was on full display here tonight.
On full display on the Varsity Media Sports Network will be some football coming up tomorrow, 2 p.m. Carry at Bethpage, followed by the Battle of GCs. Glen Cove, Garden City. Opening kick for that one, 5 o'clock on the 7th.
Are you on that GC game?
I am.
Stop over after.
All right. Thanks for the invite, buddy.
Let's go.
Got the grill going?
For sure.
All right. Take a nice drive down Ocean Parkway. It'll be nice.
Little waxer for Bethpage.
Final 28 seconds of this one. Sangare is deep. And I'll tell you, that motor just continues. He's bouncing around back there. Looks like he wants to return one.
For both teams, how about the display of junior talent out there? Unbelievable.
This one angles, and Poole makes the grab, and all that's left now is for Guzman to take a knee, and the Gales. It was rare, Spag said, that we start the season undefeated because of that monster schedule that they play. But now they will improve to 5-0 on the year. St. Anthony's will be 2-4, 1-2 in the Catholic League.
It's been a great game, unbelievable talent, right? Bala and Davis as good as advertised. Guzman probably better than advertised. Kevin Moore had a heck of a game for St. Anthony's. You see why Delaware was all over him.
Guzman kneels down.
Yeah, D'Esso balled out. Bala was a workhorse as usual, but the talents of Guzman and
Joe Wolf,
Davis and Wolf and Perillo and so on and so forth really shined through for the Gales with this win here in South Huntington. 50-36 is your final. Congratulations to Joe Spagnuolo and the Gales on this win in South Huntington.
St. Anthony's and Iona defeats St. Anthony's 50-36.
Well, the moon was out here in South Huntington, which of course means the Wolf was out as well. Ow! Joe Wolf getting things done. Xavier Bala as well, lowering the shoulder, lowering the boom, getting in the end zone. But too much Iona Prep on this night. Crew Davis finds the end zone. Kevin Moore, though, no quit in the Friars. He'll bounce it to the outside. He'll get in the end zone. But then the Perillo tour from midfield into the end zone, back to New Rochelle with a victory. Iona Prep wins this one 50-36 for our entire Varsity Media crew. Our executive producer, Ben Turchin. for our technical director extraordinaire, Chris Sweeney. For Ron Pierre and Steve Ferrandino bringing you all those great, lasting, moving images. For my broadcast partner, Brian Soper, and Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from South Huntington. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the